Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today I'm going to present on the behalf of midterm exam. My name is Muhammad Usman. My registration number is 17 and 1193. I am on class ESCS in this semester and course title is Web Application Development and my assigned topic is Error Handling in PHP submitted to Sir Shabazz. First of all, I will short introduction on PHP error handling. The default error handling in PHP is very simple. An error message with file name, line number, and a message describing the error is sent to the browser. When creating scripts and web applications, error handling is an important part. If your code lacks errors, checking for your program may look very unprofessional and you may be open to security risks. Methods of error handling. We will show different error handling methods. There is total three error handling methods. I will going to describe it. Simple die functions, die statements, custom error, and error triggers, error reporting. Today I am going to show this discussion on these methods. Basic error handling using the die function. The first example shows a simple script that opens a text file. $file is equal to f open file open into inverted commas welcome dot text comma r inverted commas bracket close semicolon. If the file does not exist, you will get an error like this warning f open welcome dot text function dot f open file to open stream. No such file or directory in C web folder test.php online too. To prevent the user from getting an error message like the one above, we test whether the file exists before we try to access it. There is a short code where we see if file exists, welcome.txt die into inverted commas file not found. Else file is equal to f open file.txt r inverted commas. Now if the file does not exist, you get an error like this file not found. This code is more efficient than the earlier code because it uses a simple error handling mechanism to stop the script after the error. However, simply stopping is not always the right way to go. Let's take a look at alternative PHP functions for handling an error. Creating a custom error handler. Creating a custom error handler is quite simple. We simply create a special function that can be called when an error occurs in PHP. This function must be able to handle a minimum of two parameters, error level and error message, but can accept up to five parameters, optionally file number and the error context. Syntax is given flow error function error level error message error file error line error context. This is the syntax of creating a custom error syntax and its description. Parameter error level required specifies the correct error report level for the user defined error must be a value number. Error message required specifies the error message for the user defined error. Error file optional specifies the file name in which the error occurred. Error line optional specifies the line number in which the error occurred. Error context optional specifies an error containing every variable and their values in use when the error occurred. Error report level. These error report levels are the different types of error the user-defined error handler can be used for. A constant e-warning, non-fatal runtime errors, execution of this script is not halted. E-notice. Runtime notices the script found something that might be an error but could also happen when running a script normally. E-use use error. Fatal user generated error. This is like an error set by the programmer using the PHP function trigger error. E-user warning. Non-fatal user generated warning. This is like an e-warning set by the programmer using the PHP function trigger error. E-user notice. User generated notice. This is like an e-notice set by the programmer using the PHP function trigger error. Recoverable error. Catchable fatal error. This is like an e error but can be caught by a user defined handle. ER. Error and warning each become a part of ER in PHP 5. Now let's create a function to handle error. Function custom error. Here I created a function named custom error into two variables as error number, as error string. Into echo b error b uh, as dollar sign error number dollar error string br semicolon ending script die function for error handling. The code above is a simple error handling function when it is triggered. It gets the error level and an error message. It then outputs the error level and message and terminates the script. Set error handler. The default error handler for PHP is the built-in error handler. We are going to make the function above the default handler for the duration of the script. It is possible to change the error handler to apply for only some errors. That way, the script can handle different errors in different ways. However, in this example, we are going to use our custom error handler for all errors. Set error handler into double inverted commas custom error semicolon. Since we want our custom function to handle all errors, the set error handler only needed one parameter. A second parameter could be specified an error level. Let's take an example testing the error handler by trying to output variable that does not exist. Uh, there I gave a command error handler function take a function which given name custom error into dollar sign error number dollar sign error string echo error that is the previous function. Now here I want to here I described a set error handler, and there is the function name custom error handler in double inverted commas, and there is trigger error test echo into dollar sign test output and defined a variable set on line number 8 because the set test because the test is undefined variable in the previous code. Trigger an error in a script where users can input data. It is useful to trigger errors when an illegal input occurs in PHP. This is done by the trigger error function example. In this example, an error occurs if the test variable is bigger than 1. Here we declare test is equal to 2 semicolon. If test is greater than or equal to 1, then trigger error into double inverted commas value must be 1 or below 1 semicolon, and the output must value must be 1 or below. An error can be tricked anywhere you wish in a script, and by adding a second parameter you can specify when what error level is triggered. Possible error types: e-user error, fatal user generated runtime errors. Errors that cannot be covered from execution of the script is affected. E-user warning, non-fatal user generated runtime warning, execution of the script is not halted. E-user notice, default user generated runtime notice, script found something that might be an error but could also happen when running a script normally. Let's take an example of these errors. In this example, an e-user warning occurs if the test variable is bigger than 1. If an e-user warning occurs, we will use our custom error handler and the script. This is the error handler function custom error. This is our previous function, and they are ending script. We We declare a ending script, die function, setter error handler, customer name, customer error, and e-user warning. Two variables, trigger error test is if test is equal to 2. We declare a test is equal to 2 and semicolon if test is greater than or equal to 1, then trigger error value must be 1 or below, and here is e-user warning. The output of the above code should be something like this. A value must be 1 or below, and in script. Error logging. By default, PHP sends an error log to the server's logging system or a file depending on how the error log configuration is set in the PHP. In a file, by using the error log function, you can send error logs to a specified file or a remote destination. Sending error messages to yourself by email can be a good way of getting notified of specific errors. Send an error by email. In this example below, we will send an email with an error message and end the script if a specified error occurs. Error handler function custom error to strings echo error string echo webmaster has been notified. Error log error number error string someone hashtag example. This is email.com from the webmaster at the rate example.com. Set error handler, there is two variable custom error and user warning. This is the error. Trigger error value must be 1 and the output of this code should be something like this value must be 1 or below webmaster has been notified, and the value and the mail has sent to, and the mail received from the code above like this value must be error 512 error value must be 1 or below. This should not be this should not be used with all errors. Regular errors should be logged on the server using the default PHP logging system. Thank you.